we are talking about Promised Neverland Episode 8, Season 2, Fruits Basket Season 2, Episode 97, and Symphogear Episode 312. And tonight, I'm joined by the one, the only C Tactics. How are you doing tonight, C?
I am here to bring you all one thing, and that is strawberry peanut butter.
I had strawberries for lunch today. I did not have peanut butter. All right, I'm going to go back and go get some peanut butter at the store. Take over the podcast, C.
Hello to all. I am the podcast co-host now, and today we are going to review strawberry flavored peanut butter, which should exist, but sadly does not.
It would fit with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because you put strawberry jelly there.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. But that is preserved or whatever the fuck's called. I don't know.
Yeah. So Chad, how do you like strawberry peanut butter things? Let us know.
Yes, I agree.
Well, they tell us that this was a good episode.
Yeah, it's best episode of the season.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I was thinking maybe the first couple were better, but I feel like it was more set up and hope for what would be coming later. But yeah, this episode, best in a long time at the very least.
Yeah. To me, this is I think we said this for a couple episodes where this is the best episode of the season. And now because of this episode, it makes me realize that those episodes weren't the best.
Yeah.
But this episode, whew.
This episode, I feel is at season 1's quality, at least for the most part.
The
black screen there.
I mean, when you start to break it down, of course, it falls apart. But on its own, as just an episode, despite what I felt was a very rushed beginning segment, very, very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, especially the ending really sold it. I rewatched it to talk about it and take notes and stuff. And I feel like the beginning and the middle, they were fine, but it was the end that really sold it and made it so great.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm doing tech support over here. I had a blank screen for a little bit. I'm podcasting.
I noticed something when I was making my video
for
this episode. And have you noticed that the stuff with typically outside of one or two episodes, most of the stuff with the Gracefield kids is kind of solid, but everything with Norman seems to be kind of half-cocked?
Kind of? Oh, I guess... Yeah, sorry, continue.
Well, the reason I say that is because I think Norman's character in his arc requires a lot of time and development.
Yeah, I
can see that. they it's obvious that they're hitting all the major beats of that, but as typical of any adaptation that is rushed like this one, you can have all of those big story beats for these characters, but you have to have the stuff in between that makes those story beats make more sense and feel logical. And I think with Norman, all of his stuff is really good in terms of on its own and what it means. But I think for his character, it's those important moments of not seeing him be there for a long time. And when we do see him, slowly developing him into this genocidal maniac.
Yeah. And I agree, the beats are there, so I appreciate it at that level. But it's better if there's more nuance and more detail put in.
Yeah, I think if Norman simply just had instead of doing that episode where they were in the shelter, completely cut that out and just focus on Norman or something, or focus on them, the Gracefield kids just doing something that doesn't involve mentioning Norman all the time. Because those episodes, I think, really telegraphed that Norman was alive. Because before this season even began, I didn't even have a clue that Norman would be alive. I thought he was dead.
Yeah. I theorized that he was, and I feel like it fits with him being alive.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like they definitely... I feel like that would have been good for the end of season 2 twist, not halfway through.
Oh yeah, end of season 2 or season 3.
Yeah.
something like that, or mid-season, like a season 3 kind of thing. Um, but yeah, mid-season of season 2, not so sure about that. But EA is popping up in the chat. Says,
Yes.
speaking of development, what is up, y'all?
Um, the quality I promised Neverland this episode.
Yes, that's yes, yes.
We don't plan this at all, by the way. You can probably tell.
The issues that I had with the beginning portion was that it was very cool, but there were so many plot holes. Like Norman somehow gets explosives, plants the explosives,
Yeah.
has this plan, breaks everybody out in one like in one sequence. And
yeah, it's like 5 minutes and so much has happened. And again, it's like they hit the large beat saying like, here's where he was, here's the stuff that's going on, he broke out, and now you understand it. But it's like, it felt like that should have been a whole episode.
Yeah, no. This I think that's kind of what I said in one of my comments, was that first beginning sequence should have been one episode, or at least one episode, but ideally maybe even 2 episodes, because you have to also develop Vincent, Barbara, and the military guy.
Yeah, all the other characters. I feel like 2 might be too much, but I also don't know like how much content they could pull from for that. I could see 2 working though.
Yeah. Apparently, from what my comment section said, this beginning sequence actually has more content than what's in the manga. Though I don't know if they mean just like basic story content. I don't know if they're talking about the writing itself, because you have to have that setup of how he got those explosives in the first place.
Yeah, and I feel like if not, then that's like a place where the manga skipped over and was going too fast.
Yeah, like literally, like he is under surveillance 24/7 no matter what he does.
Yeah.
How is he going to get explosives in a facility, let alone be able to plant those?
Yeah, because it seemed like he was getting an idea like where, like when there might be gaps in surveillance. Like he knows there's 6 cameras, but like what can't they see? And he knows that there are like 15 people at night, so that's not enough. Is there like some sort of hole when they change shifts or whatever?
Yeah, and they laid the groundwork for like the shifts and stuff like that, seemingly.
So he's definitely, there's definitely a place where like he can find the hole. They're setting up showing that he'll be able to, but then just like never happens and he just blows everything up.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a great, like the thing of getting the explosives and setting it up. That would be a great setup in of itself to introduce Barbara, Vincent, the army guy and bag guy over his head. Did you also notice they still haven't explained why Norman is coughing up blood?
Yeah, they haven't. I have a couple of theories, but again, would be just speculation.
Well, right. So I made this obvious in my video because I wanted this to be perfectly clear to people when I say this. We can easily guess that it's because of those medications. But the fact that they didn't tell us means that they have failed as a storytelling medium to tell me and explain to me logically what is going on, meaning that it is failing. So like a good story would have told you why like Norman is.
Yeah, maybe they'll tell us later on, but it feels like that's the wrong time for that. I also wonder if it ties into him being sick like earlier on. Like he was sick back in season 1 from time to time, where they showed like as a kid he was often sick. So
I mean that could be it, but
I also wonder if like they have bred him to be like a genius, if that somehow comes at the expense of his physical health.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like Norman is extremely smart.
Right.
So maybe because of the way they genetically basically bred him, maybe he has some weakness in his immune system, or some deformity or something that you just can't be fixed. Sadly, they didn't do any of that. I don't think they could with this many episodes.
Right.
Being fair.
That could be interesting. But, like and for him, they don't care about his body as long as he can like live to be 12.
Yeah. And now at this point, they don't care as long as he probably passes on his genetics to the next super smart child.
Yeah, so that would, which yeah, they never explain like what their end goal is with him, because like they brought
Yeah,
him.
no.
Though something I did notice is that they called it Lambda Facility 7214,
Oh
and
yeah, totally forgot about that.
that might not mean anything, but you notice that Norma's number is 22194, and all the kids have the number 4 at their last digit.
Yeah, maybe
So
that has to do with them being super smart, or like the fourth like sector of Gracefield.
yeah, or like could be just like the 4th generation or 4th area, because I think even Isabella and Crone had that. I think maybe there might be one exception. I'd have to
Yeah, I
go
don't
check the
remember
manga.
what Isabella or Crohn's numbers were. Did I just say Isabella?
Yes, you did. We're quoting you on that now.
Isabella, y'all. There's another plot hole that happens. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but I can't for the life of me remember.
One that might be is like he and Vincent passing notes on the Rubik's Cube back and forth. Like, why wouldn't that be noticed?
Yeah, well, yeah, because yeah, once again, constant surveillance from every angle you can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And again, like,
that-
why would they care? Like, do they not want them to communicate at all?
maybe.
What was
I
Vincent
mean,
even
maybe.
doing there?
Right, but maybe we're, as well. To be fair, maybe we're being hypercritical because we're so vigilant of so many flaws.
Yeah, and I feel like because of the flaws, we're like on the lookout for more. Well, it isn't something I thought about my first time through, so maybe it is like too much.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
I
and
don't know.
EA says Emma's number is 8675309. I think
Jenny?
I think that might be Emma's phone number. You should call it and find out.
Hello, Emma, Daijobu.
Exactly.
Daijobu.
Yeah. Oh, I did like the part at the beginning just with Isabella like saying that she loved Norman and wished him happiness. And
Yeah.
it just shows like, yeah, I feel like that's her legitimately saying that, feeling those things. And I also wonder if this is the reason that Norman's shipping out date moved up. Because like originally he was going to live till 12 and be eaten and killed then. But they decided that no, they want him for Lambda, so that's why the time changed.
Yeah. Well, this is as well. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. That's probably why. But in this scene, we get introduced to what should really be a bombshell, and just much like Norman showing up, is it? James Ratry, the guy on the phone.
Yes. I forgot that was his name, because I was like, I knew that Ratry was an important name.
Yeah.
So we have Peter here who has introduced himself, and that Peter seems to be like James's son, I would assume.
Oh, I think my subtitles were wrong.
What?
I got mine from a different source, we'll say.
Okay. Yeah, I got mine from Funimation, and when I took the screenshots, I did not notice anything different from what I downloaded.
Oh yeah, no, he says Peter. Never mind. I just misread.
Okay, well,
I saw Ratry.
Still, he did mention, or Peter did mention later on that like James is no longer the gatekeeper, and he also wants to make sure the kids don't have any hope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of stuff.
No idea what his character means. He was just in here and gone.
Yeah, and like it feels like Peter started to be like the big villain. But then we have James, who is also William Minerva. He wanted to give the kids hope for whatever reason, possibly malicious reasons, like give them hope, and that will make them better food, or that will make them like push to be better people, so they could like learn more about the kids, how to get better, make better food.
No idea. No idea. I think this
open.
Peter thing. They should not have put this Peter thing in here, because I cannot foresee the next 4 episodes him being just shoehorned in like this, because it seems like so far the pace is kind of returning to somewhat normal. So
maybe
like, we're obviously, the story is about to end. I don't know why he's here.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Well, yeah, we only have 3 more episodes left. If there's going to be 12 total, and then one is recap, so 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like it could work like this is the introduction to like the final villain. But you really don't want to introduce the final villain with only 4 episodes to go.
I, I, if he shows up and he's like, "It's me, the evil Peter Ratry, with my brother James Ratry," I want to be like, "What? Like, you guys weren't even in the show. Like, what the hell? Who are you people?" Like,
We also basically got nothing about Ski, who is one who gave Norman that pen.
yeah, nothing about Smee.
Yes, me. That's the
Nothing
name.
about him.
Yeah.
Nothing about him at all. I was gonna ask you that last week. That's a question I forgot to ask you last week. Was where the hell's Smee at? But Smee is just like,
Smee is.
all right. I guess he's not there. Lord, so many plot holes.
But I think one thing that was definitely very important that we saw here is Norman making the comment saying, like, by any means, like, he's going to take care of Emma and everything else with the time he has left.
Yeah, he'll gladly become a god or a devil to do so.
No, that was, like, later on, but still. Oh, and when he, like, rescued everyone else, someone, like, asked him, "Are you God?"
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Barbara.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was her, but that sounds like something she would do.
Yeah. This is Barbara's the waifu one, so you got to give her the dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, she's the only character whose name I can remember.
Oh god, I just remember that thing that I was gonna ask you about, and then I lost it.
Is it about Barbara with her giant meat or all the drugs?
It should be. She just, in one episode, they should just be like, "Barbara, there's a new way to take the drugs," and they just crush it up and snort it.
Maybe that'll be the final episode.
It could be. Could be.
But yeah, we got the finishing up his backstory. We got back to the present, and like we see Norman wanting Emma and the others to have a safe world to live in, which is all good and noble and stuff like that.
Oh, I remember now.
Okay,
I remember now. Okay, this kind of goes into a little bit of the ending, but of this episode, but it's fine. But I don't want to forget about it. So, a major plot hole. How did Norman develop a biological weapon to essentially like recode like a whole race of people to kill and go crazy? And then as well, how to disperse that?
Because he's a genius.
Checks out.
Yeah, there you go. Plot hole solved. Best show ever.
But yeah, I mean, I thought about it this episode where I was like, how? They never explained how he did all of this.
Oh, do they explain other things?
No. So it's very consistent in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Like, we don't know like where he learned about it. Was it Lambda? Was it after Lambda? Was it something else?
No clue.
Yeah, just don't think about that.
No clue. Yeah, they don't even show how it was made, like what they used to make it.
Yeah, another question is like, why did he even go to the city in the first place after like he saw that it was effective? Like, why does he need to go there?
Yeah.
Other than plot reasons and emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
We're trying to like the show, okay?
Well, I mean, it's a good episode. It's just there's so many damn plot holes because of everything Norman does is undeveloped. So it's like there's some stuff with the Gracefield kids, of course, like the shelter.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, the Gracefield kids have been relatively pretty good about logic, and it's just anything Norman related is like logic is just thrown out the window. It's like a fucking JoJo plot line. It's just I have a tactical nuke because I do.
Yeah, I do wish this is definitely where I feel like the show is rushed because they're rushing the explanation for Norman stuff. It also feels like most of the Gracefield kids aren't getting any development except for Emma.
Yeah,
like we have
Ray's gone. Yeah, I mean, he's not in the show, but he is.
Like he is the voice of reason for Emma.
Yeah,
and then
he's Emma's friend.
Yeah, and like you have Don and Gilda who are just basically there. You have most of the other kids who aren't even characters, really.
Yeah, Gilda is the one that's always worried about Emma and hugs her. Don is the guy who is there.
He's like the brute.
Yeah, but he is kind of like a tree in the sense that he just stands there and does nothing.
Yeah, and then you have like Thorma or whatever that guy's and the other kid who are like there when you need someone who's not part of the main four to do something.
Yeah, but you usually say something weird or do something goofy.
Yeah. Super Justice says Emma's number this season needs to change to negative. How many zeros is that?
I don't know.
10 million. And raised
to zero. I don't understand what that means, but okay.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's a manga thing.
I'm sure it just doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes about as much sense as the season so far.
That is.
Excuse me.
That is true. I think Super Justice's messages came into the chat thing in the wrong order, but that's okay. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, we had Norman making a comment saying like the kindness alone can't win the world. Like he knows that Emma and Ray are so kind, but he knows that sometimes, or he at least believes there's sometimes no other way than to do terrible things.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think that's rather corny, kind of cheesy, kind of tropey, played out, cliched, whatever you want to call it. That's the generic bad guy thing to go, the world needs chaos because humans are peasants and they will forever turmoil and war. So why not just rule over them with an iron fist because they are mongrels?
Exactly.
That's kind of what Norman was saying.
Yeah, he's, and I think we saw like how wrong he was here, and like he even saw that. And it sort of makes sense logically, thinking like, okay, we need the humans to be safe. The demons are a big threat. Wiping out the demons is the most certain way to keep the humans safe. But then we see like how much pain and suffering it causes, and how many demons were not affected by that.
I think in the context of this episode, it made Norman look really dumb.
Yeah, it's also interesting that he's supposed to be super smart, but he did this without like considering like there could be other demons who aren't affected.
Yeah, why is there a genetically superior modified genetics human who can get 100% on tests but cannot understand that that he would feel this way after trying to commit genocide? Well, after successfully starting genocide, I do not. It just makes him look like it goes against his character. Like it doesn't make sense.
It also shows the difference between his like a logical intelligence and an emotional intelligence, or you can be smart logically but still have like no idea if the way you see the world is wrong. Like you could be logical, you have your worldview, but if your worldview is wrong, your conclusions will be wrong.
I mean, maybe. I mean, that could be it. That could be a way to explain it.
Or like sometimes I think I'm smart, but I ran into a brick wall because I'm not always smart.
Well, yeah. Humans have really dumb moments, but he's seemingly planned this out for a good long while.
Yeah.
Right. So being able to do that, typically one would think you would weigh the pros and cons of doing such a thing, not just going and doing it. And I'm sure in the context of the manga and stuff that actually happened, but this just didn't fit his character. It felt like something, God, it felt like something Crone would do more than it felt like something Norman would do. Like I feel like Isabella would do this over Norman. Like, yeah, kill a whole race to get back my kids. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. And yeah, I think they're trying to present it to show like the conflict between his like cold, rational thought and his like kindness too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, or it could be like in the past, like he thought it through. He like knew all the things that would happen. He knew how things would turn out. But there's a difference in knowing and seeing.
Yeah. But I'm very happy with Mujika and Souju being back in this episode. I don't. Have you noticed that every time they've been in an episode, typically that episode's been good?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them as like characters. Like they're all right, but they don't really excite me much.
See, I have the opposite feeling about them. They excited me because every experience I've had with those two characters has been something good. So when they showed back up, I was like, I'm excited. Hopefully something good comes from this.
Yeah.
And I think we will get something good to come from them in their arc, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like they're also like a sort of unknown because they go against everything else in the world. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
demons who
feel
are like really kind to Emma and the rest of the kids.
yeah, they feel like they have a mystique surrounding them that makes them, just kind of these undeniable cool characters, I
Yeah,
guess.
at the very least, they're fun to watch and see and stuff.
Yeah, because you don't. Our typical interactions with demons are just let's eat the humans.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean,
So it did feel kind of weird that the only reason like Mujika and Souju found them was they just happened to see Emma's medallion in a giant forest.
yeah, I think that amulet was supposed to be some kind of tracking device, and they didn't explain it.
Yeah, the medallion also felt like they say like it will protect you, but how did that protect them? Maybe there's an explanation somewhere, but we didn't get it.
No clue. No clue. Yeah, you bring that up. I completely missed that plot hole. Discussing these episodes with you, I find they're much worse than I initially thought.
Yeah, because I was thinking, oh, this is an amazing episode up to season 1 quality. Think about it, and I was like, it had a cool ending.
Yeah, I mean, this sequence in the forest is really cool with this demon. Like the art in this episode and the animation, like so good.
Yeah,
So good.
I think the art was good. I did notice in the forest, like when the characters are talking, there's like no animation.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true. Yes,
I
it
guess
was all very still.
they were saving their animation quality for when it counted, so I can't be too mad at that.
Right,
It's
right.
like with
You gotta.
it's like with Ufotable. Half the time their animation is completely gone. The other half it looks really cool.
Yeah, half the time it's just like basically painted backgrounds.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like, what the hell? I can't even tell what's going on. It's so animated.
Yeah. So is it time to bash Demon Slayer now?
Actually this episode probably the most Demon Slayer like because this joke's terrible.
Okay, go for it.
I give up.
Demon Slayer.
I don't know what to say.
Yes, Demon Slayer. I cry.
Emma should just be in Fruits Basket.
She should be. Okay, so what we need is Tanjiro from Demon Slayer to be in SAO to save both shows. And then we need Emma to be in Fruits Basket so Emma can have happiness and Toru hugs.
Mm-hmm.
And we need Norman to be in Death Note so he can be all smart and stuff.
Yeah.
And we need Isabella to be in ReZero because I think her and Elsa would get along.
Oh no, Isabella's in Attack on Titan. She's the Warhammer Titan.
That also makes sense.
Yeah.
So Attack on Titan podcast win.
Now, hello everybody. Welcome to the Fruits Basket on Titan podcast.
Not getting weird mental images. I don't want Toru to turn into a Titan.
That would be really scary. Oh, she turned into a kawaii Titan.
She'd be the kawaii Titan, and she want to hug people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So before we get distracted talking about other shows, we can talk about the good part of the episode, which is when Norma saw all the demons and all the suffering and all the fire and explosions and stuff.
Yes, it's good because there's fire and explosions.
Wait,
and Demon Emma.
I just realized something. What was the part of last episode that was so cool? Or last season? The fire.
Fire?
And now we have fire again.
That is pretty true. That when there's fire involved with this show, usually it's pretty good.
It's like instead of when there's smoke, there's fire. It's when there's fire, there's cool stuff.
Yeah. Where there's smoke, there's fire, there's cool stuff. And Demon Emma, who's adorable.
Exactly. All Emmas are adorable, even demons.
Yeah. I was just like, they randomly showed, like, honestly, them kind of cutting to this scene was just really weird and kind of jarring. But when Demon Emma showed up, I was like, what? Who the F's this? Emma?
Yeah. Which
Emma, what happened to Emma? Did they turn her into a demon off camera?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, it's a time when you have like two characters with the same name, and that's like something you never want to do in anime or any storytelling typically.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
very is yeah,
it feels like kind of forced for the effect they were going for, but the effect still
right.
worked.
Yeah, because she was just adorable, and who cares?
Yeah. So it
I
makes
have
you
never seen a more adorable demon than Demon Emma.
exactly. And yeah, it was cool. Wasn't the grandpa also the one who visited them in the temple?
Yes,
Okay.
he was.
I wonder if he like named Emma or named the demon Emma after the actual Emma that he met. Though we also don't know like how demons age, if that would make any sense at all.
Yeah, I think he just thought it was, being senile, old,
Yeah.
demon, heretical demon
So I
with
wonder if anyone's going to comment that every zero screenshot on screen now.
I cry. Which so the degeneration gets to Emma and she's like, Daijobu, Daijobu,
Uh huh.
and she's terrible things are happening. And then Norman's like, I'm just gonna kill them all for some reason.
Yeah.
Which that was made him look dumb again, by the way. Him just being like, no, they all must die. I can't go back now.
Well,
And
to a point, it kind
yeah.
of makes sense logically, but I also like don't know why he was there to begin with. Like in theory, the degeneration should wipe them all out. He doesn't think there are any evil-blooded demons other than Mujika.
Oh god, Norman is a dumbass, isn't he?
Yes.
That's such a shame.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
But yeah, the part with the grandpa like telling Emma to drink the blood and run away. Something I thought was really cool is that there's a really big parallel between the grandpa and Emma and Norma and Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like there's the blood on Norman's hand here, just like when he was sick. The old man doesn't have much time left. Same with Norman. They both want Emma to live, but Emma wants him to live with her.
Yeah.
Emma doesn't want to be
That's
alone. So I
you
think
should
that is really clever.
make a video about that.
You can make
I should also God, you could make a whole video just called Norman, the smartest dumbass.
I think it's just video showing the parallels between Emma.
I mean that too. You could definitely do that, but
We can make
you
lots of.
definitely
I also want to make a video comparing Attack on Titan to Promised Neverland, especially with season 2 and season 4.
For some reason I thought you were gonna say make a video comparing Metallica to the Promised Neverland, and I'm just like, what comparison is that?
This gives me an idea.
It's
I don't even know Metallica music.
Inner Sandman.
All right, time to Google it.
It's been co-opted by a bunch of Southern people at this point.
Sandman. Oh, Enter Sandman.
Exit light, enter night.
Oh, yeah, that boring song.
Yeah, it's been overplayed. Good song, just really overplayed. And then Emma and Ray show up and they see Norman as a kid with a blade. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that supposed to
I
symbolize?
think like it's an artistic way, like show like how they see Norman like as the innocent kid and what he's doing, like how the innocent kid they knew is no more.
Maybe, or well, didn't they say they still see him as like they don't care what he does, like they will always be whatever they are.
Or like they still see him as family.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not letting you run off alone this time.
Yeah.
I'm like Emma, you couldn't help it last time.
Or maybe she wants to help it now, and like maybe she'll go along with Norman thinking that it's the best thing to do.
Yeah, and then she's like, Norman, let's kill everyone.
I mean,
And they just start killing everyone.
Yeah, that'd be a really sad way to end this, but it actually kind of feels like it would fit.
I don't know about that. I think that wouldn't fit because of what Emma her whole character is basically shonen protag. So
yeah.
I don't know if that would work.
In a way, I think it might because it would be so different for a shonen protagonist to go down that route.
It would, but it would also require many episodes to do something like that. And
it would.
lots of very good storytelling that I don't think this adaptation can do.
In three more episodes.
Yeah, 3
I mean,
episodes.
I
Did I
can.
say before?
This one is like there's three after this one.
It doesn't matter. Adorable demon Emma.
Yes, adorable demon Emma will. I wonder. I'm not. I have things I want to say related to Attack on Titan now.
Uh-oh.
I think you know what I want to say, but I'm not going to say because spoilers.
Mikasa shows up
No.
in Promised Neverland?
What if a demon Emma is Gabby?
Gabby, best girl?
Some people disagree, but yes.
A lot of people would disagree. I think we've kind of discussed everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought this was a really good episode, and I still think it is, but
I think it's definitely very impactful, well put together episode. It just, if it, again, in the context of a better series, it would be great.
yeah, and there wouldn't be a ton of plot holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point, I think the writing is just starting to suffer greatly. The characters are starting to suffer. Like,
I feel like production value wise, they made this episode as best they could to like do as much as they could with the story they had.
That's kind of what it seemed like. It seemed like the studio pulled their weight. It just seemed like the writing staff just didn't.
Yeah, or like they had no other, or this was the best they could do given like, okay, we have 4 episodes to wrap this up. Here's the content we have to cover here.
Yeah, I don't get how you can, why you would want to do it like this, but they did it this way.
Yeah,
that's on them.
Okay, I'm out of things to say.
Yep. Well, no, I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
Demon Emma is adorable.
I agree.
She's the Kisa of the show.
Exactly. Emma and Kisa should meet.
Kisa is great.
So, we should talk about Fruits Basket on a podcast sometime. I wonder what we should call that podcast.
The Baskets of Fruit Cast Pod?
No, we could talk something like, I'm kind of hungry, so maybe something about vegetables.
Oh yeah, Watermelon Podcast.
I thought watermelon was a fruit.
Listen, I never said I was smart.
I never said this was a smart podcast.
I never said.
If only there are smart people in chat to tell us what's going on.
Sadly, I don't think that would be the case.
Yeah,
but
are you insulting EA and Super Injustice?
Maybe. Okay. I would say this episode gets like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel like the whole series is around a 6 for me because it's enjoyable but also deeply flawed.
Yeah, deeply is a very very good word to use.
Okay, I have a controversial opinion.
Okay, here we go.
SAO is better than this season of Promised Neverland.
100% agree.
All right, there you go. Because I think you're like, okay, what other show do I like that's flawed? Well, SAO is like the last season was quite fun, but then if I start thinking about it, when they focus on Kirito, it's not as good. But then they also have they have that whole thing with fighter jets, but we're not talking about that now.
I mean, here's the thing: SAO, plethora of plot holes. Even the best parts, like especially season 1, still has plot holes. But it's way better than this.
It's fun.
And yeah, and part 2 of season 1, maybe not. It's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But I think the first half of SAO is very memorable. So I think it really makes up for that. SAO season 2, on the other hand, this is way better than season 2. And then I don't even have to see Alicization. No, Alicization kicks this anime's ass.
Yeah. Because they actually have time to develop things, and those things happen. But then those things happen, and I hope we get a season 4 with that villain. That would be really cool.
And then Saba.
Exactly.
Saba.
SAO breaks my brain sometimes. But we're not talking about SAO here, except we kind of are. Yeah. Any other thoughts on
I should catch up to SAO.
Yes. Why am I being tagged and stuff?
I'm being tagged too.
Oh, Yeah, I know stuff. So, see, where can they find you?
YouTube.com/C-Tactics. YT. Or just C-Tactics.
Yeah. And yeah, they can find me on YouTube. They can find me on Twitch, where I've been streaming a lot more lately because I don't feel like making videos. They can find me on OnlyFans if you want my thoughts about Joe Biden's tax plan.
That's an amazing place to put that.
Okay, I need to make another video on there soon.
Hey, I'm an Only fan.
Exactly.
I paid for that.
You got the free trial.
Shit.
But yes,
How do I pay for it?
you have to wait till the trial ends.
Nah, damn it.
Anyway, I have more video ideas and more video ideas here. And go check out C, because we'll be in Fruits Basket and hopefully not picking that apart with all the plot holes. So it'll be sad.
I cry.